Hi, and welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. Now, it isn't just the SNP that are being a bit snide and sneaky over COVID and the things that were said and done. It turns out that the Tory Scottish Secretary, Alistair Jack, is also being a bit snide and sneaky and secretive over it. He was supposed to hand a statement over to the inquiry in London. He was given an extension because he couldn't do it the first time. He's failed to meet the extension, and he still, to this day, hasn't handed his statement over. What's he got to be so sneaky about? What's he done that he doesn't want people knowing? Now, I'm not going to let anyone off the hook. I think that we're all conniving bastards over this. Especially Boris Johnson and his coterie. It was just that the SNP were even worse. And bad as the SNP is, it doesn't mean that we're going to let anyone else off the hook either. So we'll take a quick look at this, see what's going on and see why Alistair Jack, who tries to be the one, the reasonable man, the man that's trying to protect Scotland from all sorts of things, is himself a bit of a dodgy character. Here goes. So, fresh COVID scandal as Tory Scottish Secretary Alistair Jack fails to hand over his statement to the inquiry. Another one not wanting the truth to come out. Another one hiding what he did and said. What is wrong with all these people? Do all of them have to be tarred with the same brush? That they're all sneaky, two-faced, lying bastards who doing everything they can to remove rights and freedoms whilst making sure that they all and all their friends got exceedingly rich off the back of it, because that's what it's increasingly looking like. Tory Scottish Secretary Alistair Jack has been criticised by the COVID inquiry after failing to meet a deadline for evidence. Council revealed concern about an overdue statement by Jack to the high-level pandemic investigation. And it comes after senior SNP politicians like Nicola Sturgeon were accused of deleting WhatsApp messages sent during the COVID response. Lawyer Amar Anwar said no one is above the law, and that's how it should be, but it does seem increasingly like some people are. He said all parties, whether those in the Scottish Government or the UK Government, must comply with inquiries' requests for evidence. Yeah, they bloody well must, and if they're not, they should go to jail. That's how it's got to be. You've got to be able to jail these people. Otherwise, you're never going to get anything near the truth. The UK inquiry on the response to the pandemic includes a section on Scotland, and evidence gathering is done by way of a Rule 9 request, which involves the inquiry asking for evidence. According to an official document, Jack failed to submit his statement on time, even after an extension was granted. So he's like, I don't want to answer this, I don't want to put this in, I haven't done it. Okay, you're giving your extension, still haven't done it. Why not? Because I don't want to, because I think that if the truth comes out over what happened and what I said happened, I could be in deep trouble. What else are we meant to think, you know? It stated, the inquiry has agreed extensions for witness statements where this was considered necessary and appropriate across all categories of Rule 9 requests issued. We wish to raise particular concern as regards the Rule 9 response from Alistair Jack, the Secretary of State for Scotland. In other words, by their raising concern means, why the hell hasn't this man put his information in? Why hasn't he given us his statement? It seems dodgy, doesn't it? Council said there was an initial deadline of August the 18th, which was pushed back to September the 1st, basically another 2 weeks to get it all written down, dot the I's, cross the T's and so on. And that was over a month ago. In fact, that was nearly 2 months ago. He added, this statement remains overdue, and the key decisions taken during the pandemic in relation to Scotland were split between Edinburgh and London. Jack's department also liaised with the Scottish Government during the periods of lockdown and other restrictions. I mean, this whole thing should never have gone to Scotland in the first place, and it certainly shouldn't have been foisted out on the Scottish Secretary. This should have been a government-wide COBRA issue. And that way, it all would have been kept in-house and no decisions would have been made outside of COBRA. And therefore, you wouldn't have had all these different people all making different decisions, none of which are controlled, and certainly no one now wanting to give any evidence whatsoever. Scottish Labour Deputy Leader Jackie Baillie said, the COVID inquiries are our chance to get answers about what went so badly wrong during the pandemic. And if you believe that, Jackie, then I've got a camper van to sell you, because there's very little information going to come out unless they get those WhatsApps from Meta, from the ones that were deleted. She went on. Alistair Jack's failure to provide the information needed is an insult to those seeking answers and raises serious questions about what he is trying to hide. Yeah, I mean, he's got to be hiding something, because you don't just not answer these questions in that position. So there is a reason you're not doing it, and that reason must be pretty damn shady. A spokesperson for Jack said the Secretary of State for Scotland will submit his witness statement shortly, after it's been gone over and filtered. And the Secretary of State's representatives are in contact with the inquiry. Yeah, in contact meaning, look, we don't want this to get any embarrassing. Can we leave this out? Can we do that? Can we not put those names in? And so forth. Because they don't want the truth to come out. Although it's supposed to be a truth and reconciliation thing, the last thing they want is the truth part of that. They want, we'll just do this, do a little cover up, a little whitewash, and we'll walk away and forget about it. And everybody just doesn't care anymore. And we carry on with our lives, even though we may be responsible for killing thousands of people. Jack is the latest figure from Scotland to get drawn into a row over the inquiry. No shit. Well, haven't we done enough of them? Jamie Dawson KC told the inquiry last week there were 137 WhatsApp groups connected to the Scottish Government's response to the pandemic, of which no messages have been seen. They just don't want the truth to come out for reasons, the reasons we think we know. They killed people and they just want to cover it up. They are desperate to cover up the fact that there was an awful lot of dodgy shit going on that they knew full well about and were doing deliberately. And I think deliberately in order to manipulate the political spectrum of Scotland. Quick, let's for example, possibly, let's throw sick people into an old people's home and take them all out because they're all unionists. If we can kill all the unionists, that'll be great. I think that's possibly what has happened. Anyway, it was reported in the Scottish Government Clinical Director Jason Leach had deleted WhatsApp messages on a daily basis in much the same way that nobody else ever does. Unless they are crooked. The only people who delete them are crooks. He's crooked. It's undoubted. Sturgeon, as well as former Deputy Leader for John Swinney, also alleged to have deleted messages. And Swinney's successor, Shona Robertson, is expected to make a statement to MSPs on the row imminently. And we know that whatever comes and pours out of that gash at the front of her mouth will also be a massive set of lies. Anyway, I shall round off there and I shall come up. So it just goes to show, it doesn't matter where you are, which government you're in, they're all filled with liars. They're all filled with people who are deliberately misleading, who are making decisions that are not in the public interest, that are in any way even moral. And of course, they've all got to cover it up and make sure that none of it ever comes out. This is why, and I do make a point of saying it, I loathe all politicians and I loathe all political parties. There's very few politicians for whom I have any time. There are a couple, but mostly not. And parties are even worse, because for parties everything is loyalty to the party, not loyalty to the people they claim to represent. The people seem to come a good third. It's party, then party members, then the people at the end, if they're lucky. Sometimes it's not even the people at the end. And that's why we've got to treat all politicians as loathsome creatures and all parties as deeply suspicious, and never give your loyalty to any of them, because ultimately they don't have any loyalty to you. And things like this prove it. Anyway, I shall stop there. Thank you very much for watching. It just goes to show that once more we can't trust any of these bastards. Hey ho. I shall catch you next time, and until then, look after yourself, stay safe, stay well, and never believe a word any of them say. They're all lying. Bye.